onefootflipper.
Have you ever wondered how difficult it actually is to do the Technsports and daily refinement method of selling clothes, finding and selling 20 clothing items per day that are worth more than $30? Now, I, with my one leg, am not going to go out to the thrift store and actually physically try it. What I am going to examine is how much better than the eBay norm you have to be doing to do that. Once again, that method is 20 items a day that sell for more than $30 that also sell through in 90 days. So we're going to look at some various clothing categories, look at their sell-through rates, look at the average sale price of the category, and figure out how much better than average you actually have to be doing to do that. And this is not meant to be any sort of insult to Chris or to Tech. They've both transformed my business in their basic business information that they've given me, but I'm not a big fan of the clothing category. I will let you know that right now. I think it's one of the most difficult categories on eBay, really. Actually, I think clothing is the most difficult category on eBay, but it's also the easiest one to ramp up in, so I could understand why you might want to do that method, because you can ramp up into clothing very big, but it is not easy. All right, let's look at some of the numbers. All right, let's get into it. How hard is it to actually sell clothes on eBay? How bad are clothes really? In this, I looked at a variety of categories of women's and men's clothes. I tried to look at the identical categories for the genders. I looked at sell-through rates, average sale prices, percentage free ship, and as well as the change in the average sale price over the last 2 years. Now, in calculating these things, when I calculated the average sale prices, I used only items that sold between $3 and $100 because I wanted to throw out all the variations on the end, because something could have men's shorts in the title and even be in the right category and sell for $10,000 because they were Jack Nicholson shorts or whatever, and that throws the entire thing off. And I tossed out everything under $3 to toss out all of the mislabeled Chinese and items and other things like that aren't really the item. All right, first let's look at men's shorts. Men's shorts have a 53-month sell-through rate over 4 years. The average pair of men's shorts you list on eBay will take 4.5 years to sell. Now, you're probably going to be constantly amazed at the sell-through rates on clothes, because you hear people like Daily Refinement talking about having 30-day and 90-day sell-through rates on clothing. They might have that, but eBay does not have that. The average pair of men's shorts sold in the last 2 years sold for $20.05. 36% of those were free ship, so that chops about $1.80 off that sale price. And men's shorts today are selling for $1.44 less on average than they were 2 years ago. Women's shorts, a little bit better. They have a 26-month sell-through rate, so you're only going to take 2 summers and a little bit of change to sell a pair of those. But they only sell for $15.39. 28% of those are free shippers, so knock that average sale price down a little bit more, and they've fallen $1.01 in price in the last 2 years. Now, men's coats, getting into something expensive, but men's coats have a 58-month sell-through rate. You are looking at almost 5 winters for that man's coat, or 5 years for that man's coat to sell. When it does sell, it's going to sell for $42.24 on average, but 44% of those are free ships, and men's coats tend to weigh at least 2 pounds, so your real average sale price is going to drop down to around $35 because of that. On the good point, the average price is essentially unchanged in the last 2 years. Women's coats, however, avoid. 97-month sell-through rate, 8 years for the average woman's coat listed on eBay to sell. When they do sell, they sell for less than the men's coats, $39.57. 31% of those are free ship. And the price has dropped $4 in the past 2 years. Now, note, these average prices I'm having is the aggregated price over 2 years, while I'm saying the price drops is what was it selling for 2 years ago? What is it selling for today? That also matters because in the last 2 years, the promoted listing percentages have gone way, way up. So not only are all these clothing categories dropping in value year over year, the cost to sell these items in these categories is continuing to increase year over year. All right, finally, this might be the single best clothing category, at least the best one I examined, men's jeans. 14-month sell-through rate. Only take you a year and some change. $27.11 average sale price. 22% of that's free ship, and they've dropped $2.20 in price in the last 2 years. So they're on their way down. Women's jeans, 24-month sell-through rate. Much cheaper as well, $20.58 on average. 20% free ship, so that's about the same. And they've fallen $1.53 in the last 2 years. Notice one continually thing is that every clothing category seems to be getting continually worse as time goes on. I don't know if we have just everything getting fuller and fuller, if we have Daily Refinement and Technsports to thank for that, for encouraging so many people to sell clothes, because clothes still is the easiest thing in the world to ramp up for because they're out there for nearly free almost wherever you go. But I think it's also probably the single most expert category you can have in knowing what to buy. All right, men's pants, not the jeans, just the or men's pants as a category as a whole. 25-month sell-through rate, so 2 years, $26.28. Average sale price, 36% free ship, and their price is actually basically unchanged over the last 2 years. Women's pants keep following the general realm of being worse than the men's clothing. I think women's clothing is worse than men's clothing on eBay because there are many more female clothing sellers than there are male clothing sellers, and they tend to prefer the clothes for their own gender because that's what they know and understand more. Women's pants, 21-month sell-through rate, one of the best sell-through rates we've seen here, but they sell for $20.82, 31% free ship, price unchanged over the last 2 years. Let's look at men's shirts. Now, this is just men's shirts as a whole. 51-month sell-through rate, so over 4 years to sell a man's shirt. Average sale price is $20.38. 38% of those are free shippers, though, so you knock that average sale price down to about $17. And the average price is actually up $1 over the last 2 years. Although I account for that, a lot of that is the increased cost of international shipping because a lot of things in the men's shirts categories are print-on-demand shirts that are shipped to America from various places overseas. Women's tops, 32-month sell-through rate. Once again, though, much cheaper than the men's shirts, $16.57 average sale price, 31% free ship, average price up 40 cents. Once again, I'm attributing that to the international shipping cost because I did not edit any of this by country of location or any of that. All right, now let's get into the truly bad categories here. Men's boots, 87-month sell-through rate. Over 7 years to sell that pair of men's boots. When they do sell, the average pair is going to sell for $52.15. 42% of those are going to be free shippers, so we can take about $8 off that average, gets it down to $44. Price has not changed in the last 2 years. And finally, the worst clothing category I've found to date is women's boots. 105-month sell-through rate. What's that, 9 years? And when they do sell, they sell for $12 cheaper than men's boots at $40.70. 32% of those are free shippers, so knock a good $7 more off of that, so it's really selling for $33. And they've dropped $1.75 in price over the last 2 years. So, does this make you want to go out there and sell more clothes? Probably at the least it's going to let you know what to avoid. Probably don't want to pick up men's shorts or pick up any marginal boots anymore, if anything else. All right, let's get back to the rest of the video. All right, now that we've looked at looked at the various categories, their average sale prices, and their sell-through rates. It looks like you have to beat the sell-through rate by an insane amount, since these clothing categories seem to have a sell-through rate of around 4 years on average, 3 to 4 years, and you're having to do it in 3 months. So you need to be in that top you need to be in the top 1% or the top 0.1% of sell-through rate. And the quality of your items, sale price of your items, also has to be about 50% above the average of what actually sells. And I don't think that is easy. You need to absolutely be an expert and know everything you're doing, every single thing you're picking. You need to know it. Because if you're just putting out what the average eBay seller thinks will sell on eBay, then the sell-through rates you get are the ones that you're gonna see on there of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 8 years. That's what you're gonna get if you do average. And even those that do, and the ones that do sell, because remember, a lot of that stuff never sells. The average of the ones that do sell, which are probably in the top 20% of actual quality of the items, still only sell for 15 to 20 on average over the categories, not 30 plus. So it's pretty difficult. Okay, I think we'll look at a few sales and then we'll probably wrap up. Massive day of sales today. Cars, self-titled, $7.99. A $3 Disney thing I showed in my last video. A Angel playmat, $5. I might have showed that in the last videos too. And Return to Oz paperback book, $7.19. And that's all I sold today. Must be one of those slow servers that some people talk about, or it's just a variation.
Right here.
All right, I think that's all I've got for today. Hey, when you're on a live or some live chat with Daily Refinement and or Tech, why don't you tell the people in the chat about this channel? I see some of them here, but I don't see most of them here. It seems like about 125,000 of his subscribers don't watch my channel. You could help change that, couldn't you? Thanks. Hope to see you again soon.
My name's Shane. I'm also known as Soda City Flips in the reseller community. 1footflipper page. The dude's a great guy. It's a shame about his leg. I read up on the story. It truly is a shame. You know, before that, Cobra Kai was just released, and Page's, he grew up in the 80s like me, so that Cobra Kai was very nostalgic, and Page actually started up a karate dojo, and after the whole thing with his leg, it's a great thing that he had reselling to fall back on, because you know how many kids are standing in line ready to sign up for martial arts? Let me tell you, 0. Outside of reselling, there's not really much else he could have done anyways. I mean, what's he going to do? Go get a job in a restaurant? I don't care how many legs you got. Nobody wants to work at IHOP. But guys, I'm sorry. I've got to end this. I've got to run. I've got eBay sales to package up. And, I mean, let's be honest. We probably need to cut it off with the leg jokes. You know what I mean? Paige can't stand it.